in Charlotte. And for Charlotte,
we're at the Spectrum Center here in downtown Charlotte, and the Charlotte crowd is on their feet. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports. How is it?
well, guys,
He's definitely on an upward trajectory, DA. Thank you. Well, it's the first game of the regular season. Chris, talk about what you expect to see this year in the league overall, the feel you think you're going to get.
Well, I think there's going to be two sides. It's a copycat league. So you're going to see some teams are going to try to speed up the play. You're going to see some.
I'm tipping, wood grain, I'm gripping. Catch me line switching with the paint dripping. Turn your neck and your dang missing. Me and Slim, we ain't tripping. I'm finger flipping, sipping like do or die. I'm post. Car stop, rims keep spinning. I'm flipping, drop with a beat.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
hello, everyone. From Ernie, Shaq, and Kenny, we're all looking forward to the same thing, the first game of the regular season. Tonight, it's the Houston Rockets as they'll be playing against the Philadelphia 76ers.
Welcome, everybody, to the day we've all been looking forward to. The start of a new NBA season on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin, and his thing.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, we know Rockets coach Mike D'Antoni was the architect of the 7 seconds or less offense in Phoenix. But he says we should have been more.
Great stuff, DA. Thanks. Well, we have two terrific teams facing off in this one. Clark, would you say this is a measuring stick game?
I would think so, Kevin. I mean, certainly these teams will use it as a barometer for themselves. They both feel like they can play with anybody, so the confidence is not lacking. And these are two top-flight teams, and actually I'm anxious to see which one of them will come out on top in this one.
I agree. Here's the starting group for Houston. Wilkins is out there with Lou Williams. Then there's Chauncey Billups. Then there's Devin Booker. And it's Malone in at the center position. Jokic with his screen on Booker. Jokic kicks to Green. Shot clock at 6. Oladipo outside. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. 14 feet away, a tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
Love that aggressive mentality, constantly looking to put the ball in the basket.
Paul passes to Jokic. Back to Paul. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on Chauncey Billups. And the 76ers last season making it to the conference semifinals, Clark, before they were dispatched by the Boston Celtics.
And I guarantee you, Kevin, if you told any fan that would be their fate at the start of the season, they'd have banked that and went with it. Team had a great learning experience as they got past Miami and then lost to the Celtics. I think this group will be highly motivated to take the next step going forward. You know, you look at most winning teams in this league, and there's no denying they have an identity, who they are and how they play consistently. The Rockets fall into that category, a defined style of play and pieces that fit pretty well.
And both free throws good from Paul. And Clark, talk about the Rockets' identity, their style of play.
Yeah, it's all about the analytics, quite honestly. They're looking for drives and three-point field goals. Constant pressure on the defense. The long-range ball spaces the floor. And defensively, they're going to try to switch and keep the ball in front and deny the same three-pointers they're looking for at their offensive end from the opposition.
About a minute and a half through the first quarter. And stolen by Booker. And it's Houston on the break. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
How about the concentration? He gets hit but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Innovation and improvisation right there, Greg. Finding a way to get that shot to fall after taking the contact.
The Rockets shooting their first free throw of the game right now. Houston making a switch here. Lyolitsa's checked in. Free throw good, Booker.
And if you look at the numbers for Devin Booker last season, he upped his assists and rebounding, his scoring and shooting percentages. He has continued to impress with his development.
Paul kicks to George. Shot clock at 6. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Houston gets called for the foul.
And every single season, Paul George has kicked his game up another level. I think he's a premier two-way forward who gets it done at both ends. Two shots.
Throw good, Paul George. And Greg, if you know anything about Devin Booker, so dedicated to his craft. What's next for him, you think, in taking his game to the next level?
No doubt. I think it starts at the defensive end. I mean, he's one of the league's best at scoring the basketball, but defensively, I think that's going to be the challenge if he wants to become truly an elite player.
Good on both. With the amount of characters and personalities on this Sixers team, Clark, you can't help but notice the attitude they play with.
Yeah, they play with edge. They play with brashness. Some would say arrogance, but all of the championship teams have some element of that, and that's where they're looking to go. On occasion, if their emotions get out of whack, it could get them in trouble, but I think they'll learn as they grow to tone that down and use it in a positive way.
Kaminsky kicks to George. Pass to Young. They time it right, they can end this quarter with a 2-for-1.
And that's how you want to end the quarters.
Berton's shot is good.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And there's the pass to McGee. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. George dishes to McGee. Back to George. McGee trying to break free. And there's Paul George on the assist by McGee.
Boy, the confidence that George brings to his game is also confidence that impacts and injects his teammates. He's a high-octane scorer who's ready to go as soon as the game starts and whenever he gets the ball.
Here's Booker, and the Rockets getting another bucket right there.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
And so it's the Houston Rockets going into the break with a 10-point lead. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Nikola Jokic, a former second-round pick, turned star in the league, talks about what the game means to him.
Basketball, like passion, love.
In basketball, Greg, a big deal in Jokic's native land of Serbia.
And I love his creativity. There's an artistry and a freedom in how he plays the game.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Rockets, guys.
I mean, a huge lead, and already after this first quarter, they're starting to make it look easy.
Yeah, like an avalanche, Greg, overpowering the defense on the majority of their possessions.
They've got Young. Decker is out there with Kaminsky. And there's JaVale McGee. And it's Sexton in at the 2. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Pass to Kaminsky. Kicks it to Decker. Pass to Sexton. Kaminsky with the ball. Bielitsa's there. Kaminsky misses.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Now here's Napier, defended by Young. There's the pick. Karuch passes to Napier. Elbow shot, and the shot goes down.
Timeout.
Napier's got his first basket of the night. Well, we've been waiting for it all summer, Clark. Opening night. What's going through the players' minds right now, just before the beginning of the season?
About time. You guys have been ready for this a month ago. But they're happy that there's no more waiting around, and now the games count for real. And they're focused on trying to get off to a great start.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, Brett Brown coached the Sixers team through some really lean years. Now, the promise started to show last season, but he said, I don't feel close to the notion that we've arrived. I'm hardened, just doing my job and moving forward. Kevin?
And continuing the process, D.A., thanks. Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Jokic has checked in for JaVale McGee. Draymond Green comes in for Kaminsky. Victor Oladipo, he's checked in for Sexton. And Paul subbed in for Young. Bielitsa, the shot comes out, so Philadelphia will take it the other way. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Houston.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
Really easy to tell that this is an important game.
Oh!
Hey! Ooh, wow. There are very few guys in this league who make dunking a true art form. Neek is one of those guys.
That instant replay brought to you by Under Armour Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive the unleashing of chaos that time. And that one's good, Jokic. There's 49 seconds left to play in the first half. Wilkins kicks to Billups. Wilkins against Oladipo. And it's in there. Wilkins has got the lead up to 12 now for Houston.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, no let up. Killer instinct on display, trying to put this team away. I love the tenacity.
Jokic a screen. Oladipo with the ball. Wilkins picks him up. A drive by Paul, and the wide open shot from Green. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Green's got it back down to within single digits for the 76ers. 17 seconds left in the second quarter. Knocked loose. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
It's Wilkins on the wing. Over Green. No good on that last second attempt there.
And this is why Green is a defensive player of the year candidate every year. Just his activity on that side of the ball.
And so it's Houston in control with the 9-point lead to end the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games, Houston holding the upper hand after the first two quarters. They lead by 9 points. And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
Well, I like it, Ernie, because they're just not settling for outside shots. You know, that part of the game is pretty when it's going in. We've seen plenty of teams try that. And
that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to...
The skyline of Philadelphia looking especially majestic tonight as we welcome you back to action. The second half just about to get going here. Nice game, great performance by Dominique Wilkins.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
And, you know, Greg, I like how they've set the pace. There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
And now the third quarter about to get going. So it's Philadelphia now. They trail by 9 points. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So on the floor for Houston, Chauncey Billups out there with Booker. Then it's Williams. Then it's Wilkins. And it's Malone in at the center, filling out the middle. 4 on the shot clock. The shot by Paul, no good.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot that if you're a pro, you need to make that one. A guy like him cannot be left alone around the hoop. If you do, it'll be buffet style all day long. Plenty of seconds right there.
Pass to Jokic, and there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
And let's take a moment here to see some of the numbers for Draymond Green. Great showing for him last season. 9th in assists, and he's a shot blocker as well. Top 20 in that category last season. Great timing and challenges at the rim.
And his floor awareness was impeccable last season. As you mentioned, top 10 in assists. Just does a great job of getting everyone involved. Shots good by Wilkins.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Mark, when you played some tremendous talent at the forward position, as you go back in your Rolodex, who was the toughest matchup for you?
Well, I look at some of the names of guys that I played against. Mark Aguirre, Larry Bird, obviously Kevin McHale in Boston. Alvin Nat was terrific with Portland at the time. Marcus Johnson in Milwaukee. Bernard King in New York probably was the toughest guy I had to deal with because he was such an animal and beast as a scorer and was relentless in his movement without the ball. He was probably the hardest guy I had to check.
Boy, some great names there.
Yeah, big-time scores at that forward position.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Booker. And some changes here for the 76ers. JaVale McGee's checked in for Jokic. Frank Kaminsky comes in for Draymond Green. Young is subbed in for Oladipo. The Rockets also changing it up. Ayton, he's checked in for Malone. Bertans comes in for Wilkins. And Shabazz Napier subbed in for Chauncey Billups. Both free throws good from Booker.
And, you know, Brett Brown has seen it all in Philly. The good and bad times. Was the head coach for their lowest points as this team rebuilt. Now he's reaping the fruits of his labor and persistence as he leads a star-studded Sixers team that has great potential.
And Philadelphia calls time here. And Clark, you have to applaud management for the way they stuck with Brown as the team was turning things around.
Yeah, I love it, Kevin. I really do. I mean, being able to see the long-term picture and stay with the coach who you believe is the right one for your group. Very impressive work by the Sixers. You know, injuries and a lack of talent were the issue early, not the coaching. The players love Brown, and rarely are coaches afforded as much time and patience as this franchise gave Brown. I applaud him.
Rockets leading by 12. Outside Williams. To the paint. Here's
And it's the way Ayton uses his body inside. It's what allows him to get so close to the basket.
And a terrific bit of chaos there on the replay presented by the Under Armour Hover Havoc. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey guys, well, some have nicknamed center Nikola Jokic the Joker, and he does have a lighthearted approach. He said, "This is not a job. I'm enjoying the game like a game of pickup basketball in my hometown. That's the mentality. No pressure. It's just a game." He feels that staying calm helps him succeed. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A. Kaminsky, the pass to Young. Kaminsky sets the pick for Young.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
The Rockets have gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. Paul against Booker. There's the pick from the arc. He's off on that one. And so it's the Houston Rockets in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. And we'll be back with you shortly. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Green is out there with Jokic. Then there's Oladipo. Then it's Paul George. And it's Young in at the one. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. He kicks it to Oladipo. The pass to Green. They set the screen. Here's Jokic. Banked in off the glass. Jokic has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Philadelphia.
Jokic doing a nice job getting right to the spot and capitalizing, taking advantage of the high percentage shots.
Outside Wilkins. Passes it to Bielitsa. Down low. Here's Malone. The 9-footer's on the mark.
And Malone, a high percentage scorer when he gets it in deep. Once he's got the defense on his back, the game becomes easy with his ability to score.
And stolen by Billups. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. And Bielitsa kicks to Billups. Sinks the three-pointer. We try to stop, hold down, combat great offensive play. Clark, in your eyes, what are the keys to great team defense to do that?
Yeah, there are a couple of things, Kevin. One is communication, attention to the detail of what you're trying to minimize or take away. Good offensive teams, you're not going to be able to take away everything, so you try to prioritize what you're going to take away. And then just a collective commitment to communication and to helping each other, because you can't do it at a high level by yourself when you're facing a really good offensive team. Everybody has to be on board and lock what you're trying to get done defensively.
Paul's checked in for the 76ers. Billups passes to Wilkins. It always seems the coaches get fired a lot, and there's kind of the rotating names there. But the GMs who hire them stay in place. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you know, it's fairly complex, Kevin. I don't know if we have enough time to delve in it effectively here, but my initial feeling is every circumstance is a little different, and sometimes it's a little easier to move the coach than the general manager for whatever reason. But there should be more accountability for GMs, not just for who they draft, but also who they hire as coaches. So I'm mixed, but I kind of understand why sometimes the coach is a little more readily expendable.
And Billups is a clutch performer, someone who isn't afraid of taking big shots. I just love how fearless he is.
And it's a completely new group here for Philadelphia. Houston with a big group substitution here. Ayton, he's checked in for Malone. Davis Bertans comes in for Dominique Wilkins. Caruch is checked in for Bielitsa. And it's Napier in for Booker. And he nails the third. Here's Sexton. A minute 20 left in the fourth.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Rockets.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
The stats tell us, Greg, that the winner of the first game is a big favorite to come out on top in the overall series.
6 to shoot. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper.
You know, coming off screen, Sexton's explosive. You know, he shows a little bit of wiggle and does a great job of changing pace.
Here's the floater. And that one's good, Ayton.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Exactly. Cold-blooded. Separation solidified. Great effort.
And McGee kicks to Sexton. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. The 11-footer. It's rebounded by Houston. And here's Napier. So we see Houston taking the W here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's
a ghost that couldn't leave that world behind me.